I have to excuse my voice. I'm battling a cold.
Oh, that's okay. No problem. No problem. Thank you so much for calling in. Janine,
I appreciate the invite.
We've been looking at we've been looking over your bio, and it's amazing. It's very amazing.
Yes, you're a pastry chef for Smithfield Foods, and you like chocolate, and you're like a chocolate amateur. How do you get to be a chocolate professional?
Actually, when I was 16, my first job, I worked at Bellinopoli Bakery in Troy, New York, and I just watched. I loved watching a lot of the pastry chefs, and it was something, I'm one of those people that, I'm a hands-on learner, and I watch, and I just loved it, basically, and I went to school for it. Didn't finish my degree, but was able to utilize that, and found my way there.
That's, baking and, pastry chefs, to me, that's an art. I mean, I love to cook. I can cook in the kitchen. I can make all kind of dishes. But when it comes to baking, it's not my forte.
And see, that's mine. I can cook, but I can bake better than I can cook.
Yeah, and sometimes us bakers, we're our own worst nightmares. Sometimes, we're perfectionists.
Yes.
I don't know how many times I was in the kitchen making stuff, and it wasn't good enough. To me, it didn't look good enough. To the other eye, oh, yeah.
Right.
But we're our own worst critics sometimes.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about, you got to meet Paula Deen.
I did. I got a phone call one day from the chef at Smithfield Inn, and he says, okay, do you know how to work with strawberries? Do you know how to work with rhubarb? And I said, okay, yeah. He goes, well, I need you to make something for the Paula Deen dinner. Before, it was the dinner that she was going to be their sponsor or endorser, and it was her meeting that they were going to just kind of talk about it. And no pressure there, definitely no pressure. And her saying, never trust a skinny cook. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm not too, I'm kind of skinny. So when she met me, she looked at me like, oh, you're the one who made the dessert? Oh, boy.
You took that challenge?
She loved it. So, but she's such a pleasant person. She was just like she's on TV.
That's awesome.
I love Paula Deen.
Yeah.
I love her. What was it? She makes the candy jams with
Old Number 7.
Old Number 7, yes.
I love that recipe myself. You can tell we're eaters around here.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm a foodie. I love food.
Foodie. Oh, I haven't heard it that way.
Everything like that is my weakness.
So, Amber, tell us a little bit about your awesome son, Zach, and what it's like to be a mom of a racer. And let me tell you, this little kid is fast as lightning. He's awesome, but he also has challenges. He does.
It's hard to be a race mom on top of things. Let's just state that fact. Watching your child out on the track going 70, 80 miles an hour. He's only 11. That's a tough one. On top of it, when you when he was 3 years old, he barely spoke. We thought, he's the second child. Oh, boys are different. My daughter was the quick learner. She's very bright, very, very quick to do different things. And they were like, oh, boys are just slower. Well, after a while, I could communicate with him, but there weren't words. It was, different little sayings that he would just mumble. And we took him to the doctors, had his ears checked. Ears were good. And started to kind of worry a little bit. And we went on to the next step. Took him to a neurologist, had him tested, different things, different speech therapies, occupational therapies. And those early intervention services were such a key to his success. Without those, I don't think he'd be where he is right now.
Wow.
He went to a developmentally delayed program when he was 3 years old at an elementary school. I had to drop my child off. In the beginning, he cried and he fought for 2 weeks straight, kicked and screamed the whole way. And, but once he got the routine, he was good. But it's hard to kind of drop your child off at 3 years old to an elementary school.
Absolutely.
And just know that he's taken care of.
Right.
That's amazing.
Wow. He is just he's a delightful little boy, that's for sure. When we've talked to him, we've talked to him many times, and to know that he actually gets behind the wheel of a car like that and has the challenges that he has. That's what's so amazing. I mean, and he never gives up. I mean, and
no, he doesn't.
He never gives up. He you can tell when on his Facebook, if he loses, that's okay. If he wins, he's very humble. He's a very humble child.
He is, and he doesn't even mention, like, he just started middle school this year, and his teachers almost had to pry it out of him that he was a racer.
Wow.
He doesn't outwardly brag. He doesn't outwardly boast about it. He's one of those kids that, hey, if you mention what I like, I'll tell you about it. But he's not an outward kid that just says, he doesn't pound the chest and say, look at me, here I am. He's a good kid. He really is. He's something special.
Wow.
So is he now, since you got him the interventions, early on, is he like high functioning Asperger's?
He's very high functioning. Yes, he's very high functioning. He's what you would call, he falls under the Asperger's syndrome, and he's very bright. Like, he will remember, he meets someone, he remembers their name, he remembers facts about them. Like in first grade, he remembered all 50 states, the capitals. He can, if you were to quiz him right now on the football teams, on the quarterbacks and the backup quarterbacks, he could tell you who they were.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
And even on our race car drivers, he will tell you. We can mention numbers, not your typical top 10 numbers. He will know who those numbers are. It's amazing. He's got that photographic memory that kind of just takes a picture at that moment.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Wow. I bet he loves it that Mommy knows how to bake, though. Does he like chocolate?
He does, but here, I'm going to tell you something about him that you might not know. He has an egg allergy. The poor baby does not get to even try any Mommy's baked goods.
Wow.
Hardly. And you know how you can substitute, but it's just not the same?
Right.
So we have to learn to see what he likes and kind of figure out those different things that we can make him. But there's not much you can bake with that doesn't have eggs.
Did he have that from birth? From when he was?
He did.
So he
did.
It's like he won't grow out of it.
We started to notice at 18 months when he had eggs. He started to get a rash around the mouth. And I was a PTA president in my first year of getting away without my children ever. I went to Roanoke on a conference, and I had to turn my phone on silent when I went into the general session. And I look up an hour and a half later, and I have 14 missed calls from my husband.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Panic.
Yes, panic. Oh, my gosh, what's going on? Well, I, stick to the normal peanut butter and jelly, something that's safe. Dad, without knowing, had given him chicken noodle soup, and the second ingredient is egg noodles.
Oh, wow.
And Zach wanted to try it. He was so willing to try it. But as he's eating it, he's like, Dad, my throat, he started to have an anaphylactic reaction.
Oh, my God.
His throat closing. So he knows now. He asks everything he eats, is there eggs in this? So he's really good about that.
Wow.
So unfortunately, he doesn't get to taste my baked goods.
That's sad.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
poor
so
baby.
sad.
Wow. How did you know he would get into racing, though? I mean, to go from all that to say, we'll put him behind the wheel of a car going super fast.
Well, it was kind of a funny story, or like I would say it's kind of like a dream story. I'm from upstate New York, and we have a camper, and we decided to take a vacation up to Lake George, New York, which is a beautiful resort area. And we went to a family go-kart center, and we rented the track for about 45 minutes with just the four of us as a family. And Zach was whipping around all of us, and he got out of there when we were done, and he says, Dad, do you think our family business can sponsor me like Jimmy Johnson does the clothes? So, hook, line, and sinker. Dad could not say no, and thankfully. but he has a love for it. It's one of those things, it's kind of like therapy for him. Having the Asperger's, they're very routine. He struggles with, they have emotions. They have different things that they struggle with, social anxieties. He definitely struggles with anxiety as well. But when he gets in a race car, when he puts that helmet on, as long as he knows everything is okay with that car, he's ready.
He's focused.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
If he's 11 now, how old was he when he started?
When he started, he was 9 years old.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was hard to watch your child at 9 years old. I mean, he was a little peanut.
Totally get that.
And he was Rookie of the Year this past season, right?
He was Rookie of the Year, and he actually won 2 championships this year. He won the Langley Speedway Bandolero Championship, and he got the Rookie of the Year as well for that. And he defended his championship for the Hampton Roads Kart Club Junior 1 track champion for go-karting on the same track.
He races 2 different cars then.
That's amazing.
Yes, he does. He races 2 different kind of vehicles. And he does well. He's won 3 championships in 2 years.
Wow.
That's better than doing well. That's doing amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, it must be all due to your parents, too. I mean, Mom and Dad have a big say in how a child performs, I think.
Yeah, and, I have to give Tom credit because Tom and him click when like today. Zach, this is a brand new area for him. He raced Langley Speedway for Bandoleros, and I'm not sure if you know, in the Bandolero world, that's like a super speedway. That is flooring the gas pedal down. But when you go down to other tracks, you're short track. You're using the brake and the gas, and this is new for Zach. So his first time truly out with other competitors. This was his first time out this weekend. So first practice out, he was second fastest time.
Oh my God!
Qualifying, when he qualified for the heat race, he qualified in 3rd place. The heat race, he had a couple spin outs, so he had to basically start 9th. Actually, let me correct myself. 10th. They corrected me today. 10th out of 12. He had to start, and he worked his way up to 5th place.
Wow.
Before the accident. He was right neck and neck with the 4th and 3rd position.
Wow.
And as he was coming around turn 1 and 2, he was trying to avoid their crash, and got pushed into the wall, and pretty fast.
Oh my God! So we know Zach survived? Did the car survive?
The car is fixable. Him, we're happy that he's good.
Wow.
Very thankful. I thank God that he's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being a mom, having to watch in between watching from the pit area at Charlotte Motor Speedway and watching him was very tough today. So I almost didn't call him because it was very emotional.
I feel for
you can do it. You can do it.
Yep. Janie here, her son races bandos also. And
oh, really?
I have been at the track with Janie many times, and she's a white knuckler. I mean, when her son's out there. If she even watches, yeah. So
yeah.
It is tough to see.
I had a mom today tell me, "Oh, I'm numb to it," and I said, "Oh my gosh, I don't think I will ever be numb to this."
No,
I don't think I will ever be numb.
No, I couldn't be either.
Oh, I couldn't either. I mean, I don't have kids that race, but I have a lot of young racers out there that I care very much for. So when I'm watching them race, I feel like, oh my gosh, that's my kid out there.
Yeah, that's your baby.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it's like and when I see something happen, it just I react, and I probably react just the way a mom would. A mom
yeah,
of
for
those
sure.
kids.
And I don't think dads understand. They're cool, calm, and collective.
Oh.
And us as moms, my whole phrase is, I carried him in my stomach for 9 months.
I know.
9 months. Okay, he's attached to me. You don't understand. It's a mom thing.
Oh, I know. When my husband, he does the same thing, Oh, yeah, he plays hockey and he races cars. Yeah, that hockey is really dangerous. I'm like, I looking at him like, really?
Yeah.
And what part of driving a car is safe? He's going, you can't believe how safe he is. I'm like, yeah,
Well, the
okay.
neck brace, the helmet, the
I know.
And Janine over here, her son also races, and he's on his way to the IndyCar.
F-1600.
Wow, that's great.
Yes, but she's so calm and cool and collected.
I know.
It's I've been out to a couple of the races, and she's just tooling around and and
Well, I don't go into
please?
panic mode
Tell
until.
me your secret.
Well, yeah, that's,
I know.
I save my panic mode. I wait till if he's had an injury like twice, and the first time was the ambulance came on the field, and I just stood there frozen by the fence, gripping the fence, not saying anything because I don't want to get in the way of the ambulance driver because clearly whoever that is, they have medical knowledge that I don't, and I don't want to be in the way.
Right.
And then the next time he hurt his wrist, and so I physically went out on the track because he wasn't moving him or his car out. He was just sitting there. So right away, the worst flies through my mind.
Oh my God.
And I just, stumble on out there. Okay, talk to me. And I've got this happy face on and I'm kind of smiling. What's going on? And it's all just to cover it up because he wound up hurting his wrist. So I said, well, let's leave. So we just left his car
and what
there.
What did he want to do?
I said, no, let's get into my Momo van. I'm just going to drive you to the doctor. No big deal. And if the doctor's not available today, I'll just speed dial him. I have him on the speed dial. And then we'll go to the children's clinic. No big deal. And if that's busy, we'll go down to St. Rose. That's down the road, too. I make it sound like it's all so easy.
Oh, I wouldn't. I'd be.
You
I'd
focus
be a
on the
lunatic.
task.
That's hard. That is so hard.
I wish I could be like that.
I've planned in my mind what I'm going to say, so I have like 2 or 3 things I
Oh my
can
God,
say.
plan. My mind wouldn't even be functioning. I'm like,
You plan
I'd be
now.
like freaking out.
Wow.
Plan your list now. We'll do. This is plan A, plan B, plan C.
That's really good.
Yeah,
Because it was a practice day, there was no ambulance there. So I had in my little tiny brain what my plan was. I'll drive here, I'll drive there, I can drive, I'm good.
The ambulance would be picking me
my
up.
husband's that way. My husband's ready to take on the next obstacle.
No,
And
rehearse
I'm the
your
one
plan now. Rehearsal is everything in my book.
I'd be flat out cold.
Know where your local hospitals are. Know if your doctor works on a Saturday or Sunday. Have him on speed
Oh,
dial.
absolutely.
yes.
Yeah.
So Amber, how
wanna
can
be
we
more like you, Janine.
how can we find out more about Zach?
You can find out more about Zach. He's on Facebook. I monitor his site. Most of the time, Mom's posting stuff about Zach. It's on. You go on Facebook. It's Smithfield Family Automotive Racing, and he's also on ZachLightfootMotorsports.com, and he's on Twitter at SFA Racing. And basically, if you just go to his website, you can find all those links right there.
Sure.
And he's on YouTube as well, and all those links are right on his website, which is Zach Lightfoot Motorsports.
That's cool. So, can we find your recipes anywhere?
Oh, you might just have to get my email address.
Okay.
I'm stingy on my recipes because here's my secret. A lot of those desserts that I had messaged you about, like with chocolate lovers, I'm one of those people. I learn one recipe and I tweak it, and then I tweak it into another recipe. Like the dessert that I had won for the chocolate lovers event, it was a coconut macaroon cream pie, and I made a macaroon crust in a springform pan, and I layered it with a chocolate ganache, and then I made a coconut custard cream filling, and then I had topped it with like a nice whipped topping with toasted coconut on the outside, and that's what actually won.
Can you just send that
And
to me after you make it? Like FedEx or something?
Yeah, when are you coming to Las Vegas, might I ask?
Speaking of FedEx, my mom for Mother's Day, I made 2 of those for her, and I had put them in a freezer cooler and dry ice, and I had sent them to her in New York.
Oh my!
I'll send you my address.
She's a recipient of those.
Yes.
I'll share with the girls, I promise. Sure.
Yes.
But yes, I will share my recipes, anything you want, and I have a really good scone. I don't know if you've ever made scones before, but
No, I know, but I love
have
them.
a cranberry orange scone
my
that
God.
a lot of teachers would die for right now. When I used to be a PTA president, I would bring them in on PTA meetings or to my teachers, and they would love them. And it's one of those tweaked recipes as well. It's kind of in my head. I have the recipe down, but I tweak it. So.
That's cool. Well, I have your email address.
Well, I'm going for that too.
Yes.
Yes.
Where do you guys live now, Amber?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Where do you guys live? What part of?
We live in Zuni, Virginia, which is on the outskirts of Smithfield, Virginia.
Okay.
You know, the ham capital of the world.
Right.
We have seen Paula Dean throw a ham on air before, like a football.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for calling us today, and I know you've had a busy day today. Please tell Zach and Tom we all said hey or hi.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and thank you for putting up with my crazy voice right now.
Oh, you sound
not
fine.
Feeling well.
No, you sound fine. You sound fine, and like I said, give our best to Zach, and tell him that keep that pedal to the metal and keep going because
yes,
we believe in him.
He wants to race not this weekend. This weekend is his banquet for his Bandolero Championship. But the following weekend, he wants to be back on that racetrack. So,
well, and that's
congratulations.
Keep on Facebook and check it out.
We will. We'll keep. We'll keep watch on his Facebook. And if you have anything that you would like for us to put up on ours, just please feel free to share it with us.
Absolutely. Thank you both. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.